Is a trailer home park, and they are speaking to family, presumably, of the man who was shot. Now, we also made contact with the family members, and they have identified the man to us as Carlos. However, they don't know where he is now, if he was in fact the person who was shot here or not. So take a look at this video. This all started very early this morning here in Ontario. The incident occurring around 6:30 this morning on the 2800 block of South of Vineyard Avenue. Sky 5 was overhead of the scene of the shooting involving federal officers. Agents from ICE allegedly opened fire during an operation here in Ontario, the shooting prompting a federal investigation, the FBI showing up for this, closing the intersection off for several hours. Now, we don't know exactly what or who the agents were after, but we are gathering that someone else in a vehicle may have pulled up in front of the agents, according to Department of Homeland Security. So far, no video of the shooting has surfaced, but community advocates say they're actively looking for some that might be out there. Now, Ontario police were also on scene, but the department says they were not involved in the initial incident and were only assisting with traffic control and scene security. We have reached out to DHS, and this is the statement we received in response. Take a look. It says, during the stop, an unknown individual, not the target in a vehicle, pulled up in front of officers. Officers ordered the driver to leave the scene. As the driver began to pull away, the car stopped and attempted to run officers over by reversing directly at them without stopping. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots at the vehicle. The subject fled the scene and abandoned his car.
This is not the first time that DHS claims that vehicles are being used against them. We know that the DHS has put out a statement saying that, violence against these officers is up, 8,000%. So this is not the first time that this information is out there. But we have also seen how this information isn't necessarily accurate.
Now, as far as exactly what happened out here or the identity of the people involved, according to the FBI, according to investigators, that information is not yet ready to be released. I'm Lena Bibb, reporting live here in Ontario, KTLA 5 News.
Alina, thank you. A man accused of killing an LA model has pleaded not guilty. Mangus Humphrey is charged with murder in the death of model Melissa Mooney. Her body was found in the refrigerator of her downtown LA high-rise apartment in 2023. Friends say Humphrey was possessive of the young woman and upset over money during a brief relationship. He is eligible for the death penalty, but the DA's office has not made a decision on whether they will pursue capital punishment.
A homicide investigation is underway in Linwood after a body of a 7-year-old boy was found in a freezer. LA County deputies did a welfare check on Euclid Avenue Tuesday night after someone called in a tip that a deceased child was inside the apartment. The boy's mother, 25-year-old Destiny Harrison, was arrested and booked on suspicion of murder. The boy's father, Daniel Monzone, and grandmother, Anna Zarceno, faced felony charges of conspiracy to commit murder.
Honestly, so close from home, it's crazy to think that could happen, honestly, and it's just really devastating.
It hurts when you hear about them, but when you leave them and they're so close to you, it's a whole different thing.
3 other children who were inside the home have been taken into protective custody. Each suspect is being held on $2 million bail.
Critical federal food aid, known as SNAP benefits, are set to end for over 40 million Americans this Saturday as the government shutdown drags on.
Local leaders are working to help fill the gap for the more than 1 million Southern Californian families who rely on those benefits, while the state government is suing the federal government. KTLA's Carlos Salcedo is live in Westlake at LAUSD headquarters with more. Hi, Carlos.
Good afternoon. Here at the nation's second largest school district, thousands of students rely on the SNAP benefits. Now, school district officials gathered earlier to say that they're working to prevent a food crisis disaster come November 1st.
We're facing a food insecurity crisis purely manufactured by the federal government.
On Thursday, LAUSD officials say they're ready to feed low-income students, 270,000 of whom rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP.
If you are 18 or younger, families, please come to our sites and pick up the equivalent of a dinner.
SNAP is known as CalFresh in California and has more than 5.5 million recipients throughout the state, around 1.5 million in LA County alone. Many of those are seniors, veterans, and families with children.
Federal policy was created to continue programs like this even in the event of a shutdown, so we aren't politicizing and using these issues as chips for bad policy. We want to make sure that people are actively taken care of.
Regional food banks and agencies are stepping up their efforts with fears families could go hungry.
This year already, we've seen challenges with donations, with whether it be food donations, financial support, volunteerism. It's a tough year for everybody overall. There's a lot of question marks. So we are going to see even more of that.
Governor Gavin Newsom deployed the California National Guard earlier this month to assist with distribution at food banks. The state is providing $80 million in assistance while the federal government remains shut down. State Attorney General Rob Bonta is suing the Trump administration to prevent the suspension of SNAP benefits.
The truth is USDA has the funds to pay SNAP benefits even if the shutdown continues. USDA, just to be clear, has appropriated $6 billion in contingency funds and also has access to other funds that collectively could cover SNAP benefits in November. Those funds are sitting there unspent, and it is unconscionable, it is immoral, it is illegal.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the finger pointing continues.
The Democrats need to reopen the government and start getting federal employees paid again.
Now, as long as this federal government shutdown continues, school district officials say there is a plan in place to feed students and their families. You can find a list of resources by heading to our website, ktla.com, and clicking on our story. Reporting live in Westlake, Carlos Salcedo, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you, Carlos. LA County is sending a rescue and response team to assist in recovery efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa in the Caribbean. The crew of 34 members and 4 canines of LA County Fire will join others across the county to assist following that devastation. Melissa tore through Haiti, Cuba, and Jamaica as one of the most powerful storms in history. In Jamaica, at least 8 people have died, and nearly 80% of the island is without electricity. In Haiti, at least 25 people are reported dead. Dozens more are reported missing.
The NBA has officially approved Mark Walter's $10 billion purchase of the Lakers from the Buss family. The League Board of Governors unanimously approved the sale this morning. The team has been in the Buss family since Dr. Jerry Buss bought the franchise in 1979. Jeannie Buss will remain the team's governor for at least 5 years, and she's retained a 15% stake in the team. Walter also heads the group that owns the Dodgers and Sparks.
All right. The Dodgers' dream season is on the brink of what some would call disaster.
Well, all right, they needed a Game 5 win at Chavez Ravine, but things went south in the very first inning. Toronto made World Series history, though, going back-to-back with home runs on the first 2 pitches of the game. The Blue Jays rode that momentum to a 6-1 win and a 3-2 series lead. The Dodgers' bats have gone cold. Just 4 runs in their last 29 innings, but there is still hope. Game 6 is set for Halloween night in Toronto with Yamamoto back on the mound and everything on the line opposite Blue Jays ace Kevin Gausman. Dodger manager Dave Roberts says every player has to step up tomorrow night if LA wants to force a Game 7.
And KTLA will have complete team coverage for Game 6 of the World Series in Canada. David Pingalore, Eric Spillman, and Chip Yost will be live in Toronto, including game highlights and post-game reaction. My friend is sitting next to Chip on a flight to New York.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
She texted me. She's like, you wouldn't believe who I'm sitting next to. Chip Yost.
There you go. It's a small world. We've got more coming up on the news at 4.
Kai Goldberg is here with your forecast. Hey, Kai.
Hey, Sam, John. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great